right, I'm here again with yet another way to do your sculpture. We're still waiting for our paper mache to dry. So here's my Rabi-Rhino-Bee, my painting. So I'm going to use paper to do a sculpture. So that means I'm going to use one piece of paper for my background, and actually maybe what I'll do is use something more solid for the background, like a cardboard box that I had prepared and sitting right next to me so that you wouldn't have to experience me running off. So, okay, so here's my background. This will just be a little bit sturdier. It's an old Dutch potato chip box. So I'm going to cut off these bits. Okay, I'm kind of rushing, but gee, maybe you could do a neater job. It's kind of fun when the teacher expects you to do a better job than she's doing, isn't it? Okay, so this will be my backdrop. Don't want you going too much smaller than this. So the idea here is that I'm going to be making a relief sculpture using paper of my Rabi-Rhino-Bee. Boy, you'd think I'd know the name of it by now. And maybe what I'll do is do just the head of it. Do you know how easy it is to sculpt paper? So I'm going to focus on my head. Can you see my head? No, because it's off over there. So there's my head. My head is a rabbit head with rabbit ears and rhino horns, and I'm going to include the wings. So this is going to be like my background. And I'm going to start by cutting a circle out of this paper, because there's a couple different kinds of ways you can sculpt paper to make it stick up. So what I want, and actually tagboard or cardstock would be really good for this. So I can take and go like this and overlap my paper. Should I talk about tools? Gosh, that might be helpful. Right here I've got copy paper. I'm not going to need all of this. As I was just saying, cardstock might be even better. I happen to have a stapler and some tape and some masking tape. Any of those will work just fine. And I also have some Elmer's glue all. I don't have a little bottle, so I'm going to use my giant bottle of Elmer's glue all, and I'm just going to pour a little bit out onto this piece of cardboard here. Just a wee little bit, because I don't want to waste too much of it. I know that if you have somebody at your house who's buying groceries, chances are they can also pick you up some Elmer's glue somewhere, or you could have it delivered. So I'm going to just use that for a brush, and I'm going to stick that on there. So this is one way of making a three-dimensional thing. I've just made that pop out. Now, do I want that for my head? Do I want my head coming towards me? I don't know yet. Another way of making something pop out, like if I want to make ears, first off, I can fold my paper in half and cut 2 ears out at once. Dun, dun, dun. And then I can take this end of the ears and fold that over. So that once again, I have a little overlap. And I can scooch that on there, and there's my ear. Yeah, we'll make him look this way. Maybe I'll put one more piece on. So we're going to have this be his head. Let me get his other ear. So walk, 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 walk. Overlap. So if you're having a hard time getting the idea here, you cut a slit, you walk your 2 parts separate, and then you overlap them so that they go together. And that is how we stick them. So sticky, sticky, sticky. Sticky, sticky, sticky. Can you hear my pug snoring in the background? So there's my ears. I want to make an additional bump on my head so that my nose comes out a little bit more. So here's yet another way. So I cut a half of a circle. I'm going to go like this so that my bunny nose is coming more out. You know, I should have just made it a whole circle. But this is the fun part about paper. I've got a whole stack of it here. And there, that's better. So I will make that stick out here from there. I'm going to start sticking this down now. So a couple ways you can do this. Well, actually, there's probably the easiest way is to just use a little bit of glue around some of your edges. So I'm using my little piece of cardboard and just putting some glue around my edges. And I'm going to set this down and just kind of press where I put those glue bits so that he's sticking out. So that's sturdy. I might need a little over there. So we'll just grab some glue, schmoop it underneath, and scooch down. Smoopy, smoopy, smoopy. Oh right, I said I was going to have bees, didn't I? How am I going to put the bees' wings on here? Well, if I have my ears up here, maybe I want my ears to go back like that. And then my extra mouth is there. I need a neck. That's what I need. So my neck, I'm going to just have my neck be flat. Go down like that. So that it's going off of the paper. And that will satisfy the part so it feels like my bunny's head is attached to something and not just floating in space. So here's the gluey glue bit. Tuck that back up and under there. I'm going to put my extra nose on here so that my nose looks like it's coming forward a little bit more. There. Oh, good. It's sticking on that side. There's my nosy nose. I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to make my ears. Hope that's not sticking there. Fun thing about glue is it can be tricky to get it to stick sometimes. So I'm going to have my ears go that way like he's kind of, because it looks funny to me if I have him, well, fine, I'll make him go that way if it looks cuter. So he's looking right at us instead of off, like he's taken off. Have him be a brave bunny instead of a chicken bunny. So there's one ear going that way. And I'll put another ear going this way. And then I still need the rhino horns and the bumblebee wings. I think I might want to use some of this cardstock here for my horns. Let's see. So how would you do that? How would you put a horn going off? Oh, you know what we could do though is we could make a tight. Here's what I'm going to do. So cut a scrap here and I'm going to curl it so it makes a cone like a horn. You see, it actually looks really nice. Like a rhino horn. So it's the idea of curling and twisting and rolling paper. So there's my little rhino horn. You might remember back if you watched the video about doing the paper mache creatures, about how you attach things by cutting slits. Oh, ooh, maybe I don't need to. That looks pretty good right like that. Oh. Wow, you're all going to want to make a Rabi-Rhino-Bee now, aren't you? There, so we'll put that right there. See, the way I'm making these stick, you can see it's kind of a patience game. You got to hold it a little bit because this is not sticking here, so I need more glue over there. And you know, too, that this is pretty fragile and it would squish if I squished it. So don't squish it. You could crumple up some paper to put underneath if you wanted to do that, so that you had some paper in there. So I still need the little bumblebee wings, so I'm going to make them actually really cute little bumblebee wings, because I remember hearing at one point that bumblebees' wings are so tiny that technically they shouldn't be able to fly with them. So let's see. Gosh, that's just, why is it not sticking? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20. I think 20 is the magic number. You know what? Before I stick those little bumblebee wings on, I want to grab something to draw the bumblebee lines on there with. What do you think I'm going to use? The bathroom. I bet you were thinking oil pastels, but I'm going to pull out colored pencils. Oh, look! I have a whole pile of Shrinky Dinks sitting here ready to be cooked. You could also do Shrinky Dinks. So I'm going to draw a little wing. Patterns on my bumblebee. there's some little patterns. I also am going to need my little bunny eyes. I might cut those out of paper though. Yeah, because adding your details on might be easier if I draw those kind of like the wings and stick those on later. But here's my bumblebee wing. And here's another bumblebee wing. If you happen to have construction paper or a magazine or a newspaper or something that has colored paper on it, you could totally use that to add some of your details. I'm trying to look around to see if I have anything. No, that's not gonna work. Let's see. Well, I'll just use this paper and color in my bunny eyes. So my eyes kind of go like this. Should they be blue around there? I'm gonna need a pink nose. Pink, pink, pink. Where's some pink? I don't know, maybe we'll do lilac nose instead, huh? Let me make the bunny nose go like this. It'll be purple. There. So then I'm gonna cut those out. Cha, 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 cha. There's my bunny nose. See, I would have liked to have colored that horn in too, because that would have been nice. But this is kind of just a wonderful, quick little demo here. I think I do want blue bunny eyes, so I'm gonna put some blue on here. So that you can get a good idea of how to make your best sculpture. And this is a way of making something without a lot of stuff. So you can do a 3D sculpture. The rule is just that it has to be 3D. And you have to have all of the animals that you're saying are part of your animal represented. So mine is a Rabi-Bunny-Bee, a bunny Rabi-Bee, a Rabi-Bun, a bunny Rab. I don't know. Let's see. And I kind of want to, let's see, color in a little. I have other colors I can use, but maybe markers would be better for this. Or watercolor even. But there, so there's my Rabi-Bunny-Bee. Isn't he cute? With that horn and everything. So you can hang that up on the wall. Isn't that great? So take a picture of it and send it to me and I will give you credit. All right.